So I was doing a live, and all of a sudden the shit cut off. Right? Which means that individuals behind individuals behind the scenes are doing what they do. I know it's Elon. It's Elon. I don't know why he messing with my stuff. I feel like he want my attention. I know he don't want me to call his name, but why won't you leave me alone then? Why is you fucking with my platform? It was too real. Nobody knows about her, huh? So he not in your life. Is he black? Oh. Well, I'm just saying that most white people, when cause I knew a girl, and you know, she had a baby by a black man, and her family said they weren't going to help her take care of her children. You know, they weren't going to help her take care of her daughter. Her daughter was by a black man, so she gave her daughter up for adoption. She's still in her daughter's life, but I'm just saying, you know, white folks do different things differently. You know, I'm not saying that's what you did. That's what's going on with you. I'm so hungry. Well, she with me, so what you gonna do? You out here losing your mind because you can't believe the shit is real. My thing is, most intellectuals, most scientists, it's hard for them to comprehend anything they can't prove. And you know, they feel some kind of way when things are happening and there is no explanation. How does she know things that nobody else knows about me? Why can't I find any of her secrets? Well, I be exposing myself all the time, a lot. It's not nothing you can tell me about myself that I don't already know. You know, I don't really have too many secrets, you know. I've paid off my karmic debt, and I don't plan on creating any more. Unless I have to feed the balance. What's up with you? What you mad for? Oh, are you telling me the truth? Well, shit, I didn't know that was you. Nobody else knows that was you neither. can't believe you cut off my live. You ain't think I was gonna confront you this way. Gotcha. You've been spreading rumors about me. You trying to prove that my gifts and abilities are fake. Don't be no crab in the barrel, Cancer. We both Cancers, and we have been through some principle wise, we have been through some of the same things. Just like I'm amazing, you are too. Stop trying to be the number one on top. Stop trying to be the one. Excuse me. You are the one for your group of consciousness. We're not the same type of consciousness. But we have a lot of similarities. Kind of, sort of. Things are more relatable between us. Just same shit, different toilet. What do you want? You want to observe me. I'm not coming nowhere near you, and you try to cut me open and see what's going on with me. No. No, you can't get close. I know what you're up to. And I'm going to speak on it in case this shit is not going to work. But you trying to kidnap me. You trying to kidnap me so you can do some experimentation on me. You are capable of the same things that I'm capable of. You just don't believe. You don't believe in anything that you can't create outside of you, or you can't explain outside of your own understanding. That is the intellectual. That is the scientist. It's like you're too smart for your own good. When it comes to Einstein had spiritual beliefs. He was very enlightened. Rest is very important for the enlightened. He slept a lot throughout the day. So, what's up? I'm not doing anything. That's why you're not going to be able to get close to me. I'm not doing anything. I'm not a threat. I'm not a harm. You have to leave me alone. I think that you know that by now. Because you've tried some things and it has not been working. You got Secret Service agents spying on me, following me, watching my bank account, seeing where my money going. Yeah, you don't like when I take cash out, cause you can't trace it. You see, you think because of the people that you're dealing with, you think that I don't know about what the fuck is going on. You think that I don't know that y'all are breaking laws just to be able to study me. And then you're sitting up there trying to explain every movement, everything in which that I have going on. And you don't know. Every time you try to put your little analysts or whatever together, the shit, it don't align. That's why you got it. That's why you got up in there. You thought I was on welfare too. You thought I was on food stamps. You ran through that system and you didn't see me. You're trying to figure out how I'm living, how I'm making it. And you keep coming up with all these scenarios, and then it's kind of offensive because it's like you're trying to, because I'm black, you just assume that I depend on the system. Then you checking my history, checking my files. You're trying to see, you're looking for dirt on me too. I feel like a lot of things you do is out of curiosity, but it's like when you can't find the answer, you start getting upset. You're like a mad scientist, like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I think that's part of what makes you so amazing. I wonder if that story was really real, because if that's the case, that's definitely your incarnation. I think you've been trying for a long time. My thing is, I'm offended because a lot of the shit that you do is based off of me being black. You think that you know black people so well until you meet a rainbow. A rainbow of many colors, to where you're so used to a color and being able to analyze that color. I think that you pretty much got culture down packed too. You're very curious, very interested in a lot of things, very eccentric like myself. But when it comes to me, you just cannot put a finger on the shit. And it be making you mad and pissed off. I do. That's what I do. I think that you want to kidnap me and you want to cut me open. I think you want to experiment on me. Y'all love experimenting on black women. But black women get so overlooked and prejudged without anyone really just taking time to get to know the beast of the wild. I know you have hella perspective. You have hella perspective. Coming from where you come from, your experiences through life, within life, becoming your own pioneer, then getting into politics. And there have been, I didn't know, I don't know if it's true, but I read you used to be a sumo wrestler. So you know something about Asian culture too. I heard that you got hurt. you know. My thing is, I don't understand why well, maybe you have experimented on yourself and you're just like bored with it, you know. I don't know if it's true, I heard you got a chip in your head. I met a man who was homeless. And I mean, that's how he lived. That's how he wanted to live. You know, he used to live out in Richmond. You know, he used to have a big tent. He had a blow up bed, blow up couch, all that shit. Like, comfortable out there. And he said that one day, you know, it was a spaceship that landed on the ground. And at first, he didn't know what it was. He thought it was maybe a helicopter, maybe a plane or some shit. But for one, it was weird that it landed there. Then for two, he said that the light was too bright. So when he came out and the light was too bright, he went back in to get his gun. When he came out, he said it was a flying saucer. He was like, it, you know, the light left and it was a flying saucer in the air. So he ended up having to go to jail. And when he went to jail, they found a chip in his head. You know, he said, how the fuck did that chip? He was like, I got this shit recorded when he was telling me this story. I got this shit recorded. So, you know, he's just like, he was like, come on now, where did chip come from? I ain't never had no chip in my head. He was like, I ain't never let nobody touch my head. He said a part of, you know, jail, like, I guess with examining you, you got to get it like a CAT scan. So he said when they CAT scanned him, they found a chip in his head. He had no idea how that shit got in there. But then he tells me, he says it was them damn aliens. They put that chip in his head. You know, and he told me, he's just like, he said they don't have to touch you. He says they don't have to do anything. He says that they're capable of doing stuff that is unexplainable. You know. It's crazy. I'm gonna go back in. I gotta find that within my band lab. That shit was so long ago. I don't think you believe in extraterrestrials, but stop fucking playing. Because the government, y'all, when Trump first got into office, there was a whole bunch of shit going on about UFOs, and it's not UFO, it's IFOs. And I'm just like, they sitting up here trying to act like they're not in contact with extraterrestrial life. So this is what I'm saying, you know, you've been worried about me trying to track me down. You know, I think that you should try to get into more of the secrets. I think that you will be surprised as to what you find. And how sometimes they create these clouds in order to shield the saucers riding through the sky. You can't prove that neither. There is no scientific, your mind cannot process that, nor can it accept it. So you just, you know, it's certain shit that you just don't want to believe, you just don't want to accept. I don't know. It's kind of like, you know, I don't know. Do you want people to see you as God or something? You know, like, what's up? And why are you fucking with my live? I know that's you on Patreon. I know you've been up there for a minute. That's why I got rid of my other channel. I guess you're still up there. Being a cyber bully. You should be ashamed of yourself. You should be ashamed that you sitting up here trying to pick on me. That you sitting up here trying to pick on me. You must be unhappy. Well, I could help you but I don't trust to get close to you because you're trying to experiment on me. You cutting me open, you're not gonna find anything that's not of human. The best thing to do would be to study my blood because that is the DNA. And within the blood, you can see the different DNA strands. And you can compare them to an average individual who does not practice spiritual evolution. That's the most proof that you will be able to get. But your mind is not open to receiving the truth. And you felt like maybe because you was going to Mars that there should have been extraterrestrial life. I thought it was too hot for us to survive on Mars. I don't know. But I think that you're cool. I think that you're a cool person. I like how you make cars and robots and shit. I think that shit is cool. I wanted a humanoid, but I feel like you gonna program it so you can watch me all the time. I like to walk around naked. When I can. So I was just like, I don't know if I'm gonna get a humanoid. I mean, that's way out of my affordability. I mean, I know it's only $10,000, but baby, if I had $10,000, I'm not gonna, use it for a humanoid. If I had 50,000, then I would. But I think everything that you make is cool. I think that how you started SpaceX, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why you should be ashamed of yourself trying to come for me. And you are who you are. And you're capable of doing things that, I'm pretty sure if I put my mind to it, I could do it. But I don't want to do stuff like that. I don't want to, build. And then after some time, it's not even you anymore. You're hiring people to do things for you. Oh, excuse me. And I mean, I tried to get a job at Tesla. I did my research on Tesla. I know about your apprenticeship programs, and I know about, you schooling people and teaching people about like SpaceX and about Tesla and all that type of stuff. You know, it was very interesting to me, but I mean, you don't have anything in Virginia. I tried to get a job at Tesla, but you know, there are no positions there. You made it so not just anybody can walk in and get a job. There was a delivering company that is owned by Tesla. I tried to sign up for that, but they denied my application. So I mean, it's probably best if I stay out of there anyway. Because if things are corrupt, you know, me personally, I don't care. You know, but God gonna see that shit. And you have too much going on to where you know you got people thinking that you're willing to help them, and you're really trying to use them. I mean, I don't know what's going on, I'm just saying. What else? The only reason why I wanted to work at that job was because you had pet insurance. I was going through things with my dog, you know. So I felt like I would be safe working with for Tesla, but obviously, God was like, no. So whatever. You're very smart though, very calculated. So I know you don't make it easy for people just to get in there. If anything, people have to go through a program, your training program, which is smart. You know, I've done my research. I think that you have a very cool empire. You know, through kind of seeing the different levels of how you offer people growth within your company. I'm just like, he's really smart. He's very creative in how he does things. You know. My thing is that I'm the same way, just not on the level that you're on. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. You know, it's been a couple of billionaires out there who tried to come up against me because y'all saw the potential. Y'all saw it. I know y'all been fucking with my social medias. I know y'all been fucking with me for a very long time. Thank you. I was able to find a new quality of life, and I was able to see, you know, the struggle that I would have to go through with trying to make my dreams come true. I think that y'all fucking with Umar too. Is it a racist? Is this a racist thing? Let's just get that out the way because I feel like it's racist. That's clarified with the transformation. You have your reasons as to why you're racist. I mean, I don't know. Personally, I don't care. You can't bring that to me, you know. You do so well with faking it. Zuckerberg racist too. Zuckerberg not racist. Bezos is though. Somebody else. There's somebody else. When I was getting scammed by Amazon, and it was on my Cash App, it was a lot of purchases made from Meta, and they were purchasing technology equipment and they were shipping it over to India. And this was before that submarine shit. So I'm trying to tell you, when that submarine, when those people went underground in that submarine, I put that shit together. I said they was out here scamming and stealing from people in order to make that shit happen. When they stole from me, that's where my money went to them investing in that submarine. That's the truth. But of course, these are the things I don't like saying. And it's funny because, they invited Chris Brown on that too. That could have been him. Yeah, y'all been fucking with me for a while. And the thing is, you don't even like black people, and you don't like them because you see how easy it is to use them against each other when it comes to money. It's like you think that they're savages. They have no morals. They have no dignity. That's because you're in that industry dealing with those people. But at the same time, you have seen it in poverty areas too. This is what I'm saying. It's black and white, but there are shades of gray in between. I told you some of us are rainbows. Not a lot. And over the years, I know what you're saying. I see the things in which that you see. I see how disturbing certain things are. You are emotionally disturbed deep down inside. With a lot of things that go on in the world, especially with black people. I think that you really dislike the men, but at the same time, you don't like how the women sometimes just allow the men to be that way. You know, I know a girl that you helped. We're not gonna say her name, but she do tarot too. I know you helped her. You chose her. She was in a rough spot and she had a lot of children. You helped her get to a beautiful place. And when she got to that beautiful place and she got comfortable and she started exposing certain things, you became disturbed by that too. I understand why. You did a live. You did a live with Michelle. I haven't seen her in about a year. This was before the presidency. You know, so Michelle she's like special needs. And there's a community of her and her people, and sometimes they get together and play trivia. You were on her live. I was on that live too. Did you know that? You knew that. Did you lead me to that live? I think you have a hard time with black people. Well, what do you want from me, honey? Because I can't. you know, that's why you trying to figure me out, because I'm black and you don't think too highly of black people for real. I mean, most white people don't, you know. But you cannot kidnap me and cut me open. I don't trust you with my blood. Because you might try to do something to my blood. I think it was time for us to address certain type of things, you know. I feel like you kind of go back and forth with belief and disbelief because you have a certain expectation for me, and you be trying to project the way that you would be thinking on to me if you were me. At this point in time in my life, with having to deal with so much hatred and sabotage from people, I don't even want anything. I don't have any fucking ambition. All I want to do is live and be in love. Because the amount of hate that rules this place, the mental and emotional fuckery and suffering, you know, it's a lot of stuff that I just don't want that I once wanted. There are things that I don't want to do anymore that I used to love doing, enjoy doing. I found a new way as to how to utilize my gift. And all it requires of me is just to live my life. That's what I want. I don't want to be bothered with any fucking entertainers. I don't want to be bothered with regular average people. I don't want to be bothered with conscious people. I don't want to be bothered with anybody. I don't have any passion. I don't have any excitement. I don't have any desire. Bless you. I just want to live the best life that I can live before my time is over. I don't care about a lot of things that I used to care about. But there's one person out of a billion people who, you know, I mean, I have other people who love me, but not necessarily strangers. She loves me. She doesn't even know that she loves me yet. I was never meant to be what the world wanted me or told me I had to be. I was meant to be this for this girl. All of that other stuff is all distractions. All that grinding, paper chasing, all this ambition, all this, you know, wanting to gain all this material wealth and success, that's not where it's at for me. If priceless was a definition, I'd be next to it. Well, that doesn't make any sense because priceless is a definition, right? But let's just say my picture should be next to it. And I like how you flagged that video too. Well, that wasn't you. That was your counterpart. You thought you was slick. You bought that beat. Somebody purchased that beat and they copyrighted it. And then they flagged that song. It still exists on other platforms though. You see, now I'm just saying something about it. And I know, Thoth helped me with that. So I know whoever fuck with that is getting fucked. They already got fucked. I know they did. I heard Thoth dragging their ass in the spirit. They went through some shit they cannot explain. It scared the fuck out of them. I believe you was a part of that too. You want to sit here and have so much hate, but you fail to realize that the hate is brooding within you. It's not because of other people. You are a hateful person on the inside. On the inside, that's who you truly are. Well, I mean, you had me fooled. You had me fooled for a while. I thought you was really genuinely a great person. I thought you was really genuinely amazing. I have my thoughts about, billionaires and white people. But when it came to you and when it came time for me to study you, I thought, I was just like, oh, he can't be categorized. You can only say he's an amazing person. He's not even human. But I think, oh, that shit was an act. Well, shit, you should have been an actor. The fuck? Your ass should have been in the acting field. Shit, you need to create some movies or something, because you got some talent with that. I don't understand why people want to be fake. They want to fake real life. I understand that you have to show.
Shopify is a platform that helps entrepreneurs get started down the path they want. Sometimes.
I understand that you have to show people a certain side of yourself, and you want to create a certain reputation for yourself. I mean, I understand that. But you kind of took things a little overboard. You funny as hell though. I believe I can work with you from a distance. I've met a parallel reality of you too. Is she racist? Wow. You would never guess. But there's always this awkwardness with her that I sense. And when it comes to me, I can sense her confliction too. There's a couple of very racist women on the low. Whatever. People are people. Can't change people. Can't change the truth. Can't change the past. Somebody flagged my Everclear story, so that's why I took it down. I'm not putting it back up. I'll put it on sale for $3. If motherfuckers want to purchase it, then they can do that. Look at Eniko. It's something different about her. I don't know what it is. Well, I guess after some time, you gotta grow your confidence. So you just grow into your power. But that looks her energy looks a little, I don't know. There's something going on there. But as long as she's okay. But anyway, we gonna wrap it up there. So we'll work behind the scenes. I'm gonna just put it back out because I want to focus on my girl. I'm gonna put it back out. I'm gonna put it back out right now.
This is gonna be a small Dano.
Your little partner in crime over there, wherever the fuck he at. I don't know if he's still in the Netherlands or whatever the fuck he doing. I done heard y'all pillow talking a couple of times. So my thing is, I don't know what the fuck y'all got going on when it comes to me. But I know he be flagging a lot of my stuff. Because I know he been lying on me too. But it's got sex in here and they tried to flag it. This shit was up for 2 years. The moment I make a video about talking about this story, the next day this shit get flagged. You know. But my thing is, I'm putting it out so I ain't got to work with you personally. Because I need to focus on this girl. I don't really have time for it anymore, any other things, any more distractions. I took a couple of my stories off. I'm not putting those back up here. I'm doing this for you. And I heard you a while ago, probably like a year ago, you was listening to it. You thought it sounded childish because, for one, you're not into stories. You have to know everything. Everything has to be actual, factual. But there must be certain things going on to where you're ready to open up. I wrote this story to heal racism through perception. Because when it comes to you experiencing love from an opposite race, that opens you up to perceiving people differently than your discriminations of them. You got a Gemini Venus like me. You got Virgo moon like me. But I have Pisces ascendant, you have Cancer ascendant. So, you know, I have Aries Mars, you have Aquarius Mars. So like I said, you know, there's a lot of similarities between us. You know, that Gemini energy, you know, Gemini is very discriminating. They rule the sign of discrimination. So my thing is that I get it. I get it. I used to be the same way. Until I fell in love with a white boy. And even though I still deal with racists, it's not openly. But you know, I know that there are racist people. You know, I mean, it doesn't bother me. You know, sometimes knowing that somebody is racist and really just doesn't like you because of the color of your skin would make anybody upset, you know. But it's all about perception. I knew a girl, she grew up in a racist family, but she loved black men. She never thought about it until she dated one. He was big too. He was a big old black man. You know. She was a very cold woman because of certain things that she had been through within her life and dealing with her family and peers. And when she met that black man, he warmed her heart up. He warmed her up. She just began to melt. So, you know, she started to open up her mind to black people in general. She was racist as hell, though. She really was. It takes time to get over the racism. It takes time. She was intimidated by black women because she didn't want him to want a black woman, you know. So she went through a phase to where she was intimidated by black women and feeling like black women wouldn't accept her being with that black man. You know, like I be telling people, who the fuck cares? You shouldn't be worried about that or paying attention to that. I know there have been a lot of white women that like black men, and you know, the sisters be giving them a hard time. You know, I'm just like, love is love. You know, and half of the time, you know, most of the time, you know, they want, black men be wanting a woman that's gonna be nice to them. You know, like they can't necessarily deal with, you know, the attitude of a black woman or the trauma of a black woman. They find that other ethnicities are a lot nicer to them. But at the same time, they're being like little bitches because it's kind of like, it is kind of like lost little boys. You know, like they're looking for that mom. But a lot of the black women, they're just like, I'm looking for a man. You know, not somebody to take care of. And then sometimes you'll find a woman who'll take care of you for a little bit, but then she start demasculating your ass. You know, a lot of my black male friends, they find it easier just to be with a white woman or a woman outside of black women. And of course, when they tell me the issues that they done had, you know, I understand. I'm just like, well, you know, at this point in time, I just, you know, I don't care about all that. I just want him to be a loving human being, you know. I want him to have some heart. I don't care if he black, white, blue, purple, green, yellow, I don't care. You know, love is very scarce when it comes to external. Love is always unconditional when we can pour it into us, but with the give and take of love with others, that shit is rare. We're gonna wrap it up here because I feel like I talked enough. Until the next time, we'll talk again.